Alright guys, I'm doing a secondary gear reduction on this 16420. Just give you a quick list of what I was involved as far as the basic stuff you gotta do. We've already put this one in, but I decided I'd take the time to make a little video to show you what you gotta do here. So, now this is a 14 up frame. This is the newer body style. It's a little different the way the rear assembly comes apart. You got a bolt on each side like in your swing arm location. Take those out, then you've got one main bolt here. Your shocks, bolts, shock mounts, and top control arm mounts. You got to unbolt all of that. Undo your vent line on the diff. And your brakes. What we do, we just take the whole brake assembly loose from the frame and leave it with the rear end. Basically, this is what you're going to have. This whole assembly will just come right out. That's what you got to do. That's the main thing. Then you got to take the air box out. Unhook your electrical connections. You got several of those. Speed sensor. Starter's got to come off. You don't have to remove, this is your angle sensor. You don't have to remove the sensor, you just have to unplug it. Take your reverse plate off and the cable, and then your reverse sensor there. Don't mess with these bolts, you don't have to mess with those. The only thing you got to worry about is the bolts around the outside. There's two hiding behind that starter too. You've got you have to undo your stator, your yellow wire stator plug that goes into the rear cover. Spider crawling on my phone there. And then this plug here, you got this main plug that's for like your gear indicator sensor and your angle sensor and stuff. You got two ground cables bolted on back there. Pretty much it. Like I said, you got to pull the air box out of the way. That's pretty much all I can think of off the top of my head. But once you get the cover off, you'll have to kind of finagle it out of the frame. It's not gonna come straight off. It's just something you kind of have to play with and figure out how the best way to get it off. But once you get it off, you've got a big gear inside here that's on your output shaft, and then there's a smaller gear sitting up here on your counter shaft for your transmission behind this cover. That's the two gears you swap out. That's all there is to it. It takes longer to get to it than it does to do it. Speed sensor, you got to modify it. And all that consists of is cutting the flange down on the underside to move this sensor closer into the cover to pick up on the smaller drive gear. And depending on which secondary reduction you're doing, depends on how much you have to cut off on the bottom side of that flange. And that's pretty much it. Just give you a basic idea what you got to do or how you got to tear it down. Floorboards off, side panel, skid pan. Pull the whole rear assembly out. That's all there is to it.